Y'all with me? And it was good for us, to tell you the truth, because when I stepped back in the head Vegas game and I haven't been there, it brought back so much memory.
Y'all don't even know Calvin for CCO. I know Calvin, you know what I mean?
The possibility of overturning the majority draw between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. has created an unexpected rift between Tank and his coach, Calvin Ford, following their tense moments in the corner during the fight. Tank's chaotic performance mirrored the fight's result, and now, with Ford's departure making headlines, the WBA lightweight champion has finally responded to the situation, addressing the tension surrounding their relationship.
And him seeing all this working together, he was happy. And at the end of the day,
Coach Calvin Ford's reaction came shortly after an announcement from Lamont Roach Jr.'s team and the New York State Athletic Commission regarding a potential overturn of the fight's result. On Tuesday, Dan Rafael of Fight Freaks Unite reported that Roach's lawyer, Greg Smith, sent a 4-page letter to the commission's executive director, urging them to change the majority draw into a win for Roach. On Monday, the commission released a statement addressing the controversy, stating they were reviewing referee Steve Willis' call in the 9th round. The commission also cited technical difficulties as the reason they were unable to review the call at the time, adding further complexity to the situation.
worrying about you because, boom, he knows that I spend time with my amateurs. You know me, both of y'all know me very well.
Yeah.
Know I spend time with my amateurs
Yeah.
all the time. That's my peeps.
After Lamont Roach Jr. landed a punch, Davis took a knee and went to this corner to have his face wiped. Referee Steve Willis began counting as if he might rule a knockdown, but ultimately allowed the fight to continue. The New York State Athletic Commission is now reviewing the incident from Saturday's fight between Roach and Davis. In response, the commission stated that they requested a replay during the round in question, but were unable to receive it due to a technical issue. As a result, they had to rely on the referee's in-ring decision to allow the fight to continue.
I don't know, did y'all see me in the ring tell him to keep counting? He started counting. I was like, why you stop? Like, keep counting.
The New York State Athletic Commission remains committed to upholding the integrity of combat sports and is working closely with promoters and production teams to prevent future technical issues. Their goal is to ensure that ringside instant replay feeds are always available to officials when needed. Lamont Roach Jr., the WBA junior lightweight champion, faced Gervonta Davis for the WBA lightweight title on Saturday at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Had referee Steve Willis ruled Davis' knee as a knockdown, and the judges scored the round 10-8 in favor of Roach, he would have won by unanimous decision. Eric Malinsky scored the fight 115-113 for Davis, while Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman had it 114-114, resulting in a draw.
I honestly don't know. I don't know. But I can't go back and change it, so.
Feldman and Malinsky scored the 9th round for Davis, while Weisfeld gave it to Roach. Protests in boxing rarely lead to overturned results, but this situation may be an exception. The controversy has also sparked questions about the relationship between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and his coach, Calvin Ford. Just 6 weeks before the fight, Davis made it clear, saying, "I got Calvin tattooed on me. Calvin ain't going nowhere. Calvin is Pops, he ain't going anywhere." However, when fight night arrived, Ford was not in Tank's corner. The 30-year-old fighter may have paid the price, as this marked the first time in his career that he walked away without a victory.
Because it was something that we didn't want to do. It's something that we normally do. Y'all with me? And it was good for us.
While Tank Davis expected Calvin Ford to be in his corner on March 1st, the veteran coach had his own reasons for stepping away from this fight. Now, with the possibility of his draw against Roach being overturned to a loss, Ford has officially left the team. For years, fans were accustomed to seeing the iconic duo of Ford and Kenny Ellis, a partnership as legendary as Tyson and Keto, Canelo and Eddie Reynoso, or even Pacquiao and Freddie Roach. The bond between Davis, Ford, and Ellis was that strong in the eyes of fans. Instead of that familiar team, it was Barry Hunter in Tank's corner, a sight many were not expecting to witness.
Because it's the first
Yeah,
time
for
he's not
sure.
the head trainer in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Calvin, again, I told her, I said,
Many are curious about what led to this situation. Speaking with Fight Hub TV, Calvin Ford offered some insight. Davis headlined his second PBC Amazon Prime Video pay-per-view event at the Barclays Center, featuring a stacked card with exciting fights, including 2 light welterweight title clashes. Like many, Ford was eager to see how Davis' training would translate in the ring. With Tank hailing from Baltimore and Roach from DC, Ford recalled their history of sparring together and respected Roach's dedication, seeing this fight as a great opportunity for both fighters. Addressing the speculation, Ford clarified, "Maybe people are misreading the situation. We ain't changing up anything." He explained that he simply took a step back, but the training structure remained the same. Ford also emphasized that there was no suggestion of a breakup or falling out between him and Davis.
he will always be around. You know what I mean? So, that's, you know, that's pop, like I said.
The temporary separation between Tank Davis and Coach Calvin Ford has strengthened their bond, much like when family members spend time apart and appreciate each other more upon reuniting. Ford explained, "No, he came to see me, dead slowed down and worrying about you, because boom, he knows I spend time with my amateurs. You both know me very well. I always spend time with my amateurs. That's my piece." Even though Ford wasn't directly training Davis, knowing where he was and that he was putting in the work reassured him. Ford admitted that stepping back allowed both of them to appreciate their connection more. When Davis returned to the gym, Ford could see that the lightweight champion had missed him, just as he had missed Davis. Barry Hunter also provided reassurance during this time.
It's, without me, without Calvin, it wouldn't be no me. You know what I mean? Because at first, when I came into the...
Calvin Ford, Barry Hunter, Coach Boogie, and Kenny Ellis will all be part of Tank Davis' coaching team, despite Ford and Ellis not being in his corner for the recent fight. Hunter stated in an interview that while Ford and Ellis won't be present, the coaching team remains intact, suggesting there's no major issue. He reminded everyone that this isn't the first time changes have occurred in Tank's corner. Having worked with Davis since his amateur days, Hunter isn't new to the team, unlike Ford. He also pointed out how misinformation often spreads online, with people making assumptions without knowing the full story. Hunter reassured fans that Tank is like family, emphasizing that this appears to be a temporary shakeup, with a good chance things will return to normal once Davis is back after a few months.
At DC, they call me Mo. Calvin is Calvin. You know what I mean?
Gervonta Tank Davis' slow start nearly cost him on Saturday night. His WBA lightweight title defense against Lamont Roach Jr. ended in a majority draw, leaving the sold-out crowd of 19,250 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn stunned. While Davis retained his belt, it was a fight he likely preferred to move past quickly. Two judges scored the fight 114-114, while the third had it 115-113 in favor of Davis. ESPN also scored the bout a 114-114 draw.
But, I went back and I watched it, and shit, Tank lost that fight, period. And that's even without the knockdown, he lost.
Lamont Roach Jr. is a great fighter, Davis said after the fight. He's got skills and punching power, like I said before. It was a lesson, and hopefully, we can run it back. One of the most puzzling moments came in the 9th round when Davis unexpectedly took a knee after a jab from Roach. Referee Steve Willis chose not to rule it a knockdown. Davis later explained that grease from his hair got into his eye, causing him to drop to a knee. The fight continued without penalty, but had the knockdown been counted, it could have shifted the fight in Roach's favor.
Yeah, just didn't do enough work. I thought that Roach's game plan was.
If the knockdown had been called, Roach could have won the 9th round with a 10-8 score. Instead, Two judges scored it 10-9 in favor of Davis. "I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in it," Davis explained. "When I was sweating, it got in my eyes and burned." Roach didn't dispute Davis' reasoning, but firmly stated that the rules are the rules. "If you take a knee and the ref starts counting, it should be a knockdown." He added, "If that's a knockdown, I win the fight. I'm not relying on just that moment to win. I truly felt I did enough." Davis entered the fight as a heavy favorite, with many expecting him to secure his 29th career knockout by stopping Roach, who was making his lightweight debut. Backed by a passionate crowd, Tank couldn't deliver the highlight reel finish fans anticipated. Instead, Roach held his ground, absorbing Davis' power shots and firing back with punches that stunned both Davis and the crowd. Known for his patience, Davis started slow, waiting for Roach to make a mistake he could exploit in the later rounds.
I feel like Lamont definitely won. Mind you. I feel like Lamont Roach won. I definitely feel like Lamont Roach won. But a draw, like, I mean, it is what it is type shit, you know? I ain't hate.
Roach never gave Davis the opening he was looking for, consistently pressing the action early on. Davis smiled and exchanged words with Roach, but as the fight progressed, he realized he had to get serious when his opponent refused to crumble under pressure. At 29, Roach had faced Davis before in the amateurs, but had come up short. This time, he was determined to prove he belonged in the ring with the lightweight champion. After turning pro, their careers took different paths. Davis quickly rose to become one of boxing's biggest stars, while Roach built a solid reputation, but fell short in his only previous world title shot, a loss to Jamal Herring for the WBO super featherweight belt in 2019. Meanwhile, Davis' rise to superstardom was cemented by his knockout victory over Ryan Garcia in 2023, which solidified his claim as the face of boxing. However, against Roach, Davis nearly let that title slip away with an underwhelming performance. Their past encounters may have given Davis a false sense of security, but Roach came prepared for everything, especially Tank's famous fight-ending power. By the middle rounds, Davis' smile had faded as he realized the knockout he anticipated wouldn't come easily. The champion began throwing more punches to create openings, but Roach stood his ground, firing back with counters and combinations. Davis focused almost entirely on body shots, hammering away as Roach pressed forward without hesitation. Whenever Davis slowed his assault, Roach found openings to land sharp counters. In the 8th round, Roach stunned Davis with the counter right hand. While Davis was never in serious trouble, the shot served as a clear reminder that he couldn't afford to fight recklessly. "I felt like I was breaking him down as the rounds went on, but he kept coming. So I didn't want to make any mistakes," Davis said. "I kept it cautious." Realizing the fight might be slipping away, the 30-year-old Davis pushed the pace in the championship rounds. While he landed some powerful shots, he never came close to seriously hurting Roach. However, his increased activity was enough to win the final 2 rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards, allowing him to escape with a draw and retain his title. Davis landed 103 of 279 punches in a calculated performance, while Roach, the busier fighter, connected on 112 of 400 punches.
A great event. Great event. It was a great fight. They put in a fantastic performance. Both of them did, for real. Both of them really did put in a fantastic performance. It was a great fight, you know? All that good stuff. All that good stuff.
"I'm just a little disappointed in the decision," Roach said. "I thought I pulled it out, but that's what happens when 2 skilled fighters go at it. I definitely thought I won, but we could run it back. Even though I didn't get the official win tonight, in my book, I did. But we're not satisfied with that. We need a real WD." Recently, news broke that Gervonta Davis and his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, had parted ways after more than a decade together. Ford confirmed the split, citing several external factors that contributed to the decision. Whether it stemmed from issues during training camp or an unwillingness to discuss the situation, Davis had remained silent on the matter until now.
Just did. We got off the cameras once. It ain't about the dog. It's about the
In breaking his silence, Davis shifted the narrative slightly. It was no longer just about Calvin Ford's absence. It now involved Leonard Ellerbe. Since Ellerbe left Mayweather Promotions, he no longer had to remain neutral between Davis and Floyd Mayweather Jr. after his departure. Ellerbe focused all his attention on Davis. While Ellerbe's involvement may seem beneficial, some reportedly believe many of Davis' recent poor decisions can be traced back to Ellerbe's influence. This growing tension appears to have played a significant role in the changes within Davis' camp.
And Tank was holding the conversation. Tank said, yo, come on, Tank came, every fight Tank come tell me, I'm gonna knock him out.
Calvin Ford hasn't been entirely comfortable with Leonard Ellerbe's relentless presence in Davis' camp. Previously, the trio of Davis, Ford, and Kenny Ellis formed an unbreakable unit. Even under the Mayweather Promotions banner, their bond was so strong that Floyd Mayweather Jr. had to respect their unity. However, after parting ways with Mayweather Promotions, Ellerbe became more involved and tensions began to emerge. The once solid relationship between Davis and Ford now appears to be under threat, raising questions about the long-term stability of Davis's team. Furthermore, Davis's team believes he has been making poor career decisions under Ellerbe's influence. According to Davis, his entire camp is against his close association with Ellerbe, seeing him as someone who aligns with whoever benefits him the most. They argue that Ellerbe was loyal to Floyd Mayweather while profiting from Mayweather's fighters, but once that dynamic shifted, he turned his attention to Davis. This belief created a rift within Davis' camp, as everyone except Davis saw Ellerbe's involvement as problematic. Ultimately, this tension led Davis to make the drastic decision to part ways with his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford.
No, I'm not talking to little Tank anymore. I'm talking to the grown man Tank. For being with him for so many years.
Ellerbe played a key role in the growth of Mayweather Promotions, helping to orchestrate major events like Mayweather versus Pacquiao. He also played a significant role in turning Gervonta Davis into a pay-per-view star, promoting some of his biggest fights, including his recent bout against Frank Martin. Since parting ways with Mayweather Promotions in 2022, Davis has faced top-tier opponents like Rolando Romero, Hector Luis Garcia, Ryan Garcia, and Frank Martin, proving his ability to navigate the sport independently. Some, including boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult, believe leaving Mayweather was the best move for Davis' career. However, tensions between Davis and his former mentor have escalated, with both exchanging jabs on social media in recent months. This ongoing feud suggests that their split wasn't just a business decision, it was personal. After Davis' recent fight against Frank Martin and Leonard Ellerbe's exit from Mayweather Promotions, a popular YouTube boxing commentator explained why leaving Mayweather was the best decision for Davis. In a short clip titled *Tank Davis leaving Floyd was the best thing for his career*, the commentator argued that while Mayweather is one of the biggest names in boxing, his mindset is primarily centered around money. The suggestion was that Davis needed to step away from Mayweather's influence to carve out his own path. Interestingly, Calvin Ford had unknowingly foreshadowed this situation before Davis' fight against Frank Martin. When Davis was absent from the media workout, Ford spoke on his behalf, making statements that have since come back to highlight the ongoing tension between them. As their relationship plays out publicly, Ford's past words are proving to be more significant than originally realized.
Right. And Tank's gonna get every last one of these guys y'all want him to get. You just can't get them all in one night. Did you see what he tweeted?
Now, it's clear why Calvin Ford previously said, "Watching him in camp scares me because of the things he's doing and his maturity. When he gets in that ring, he'll hurt Frank Martin." Ford had noticed Davis' intense focus, stating that he listens carefully to conversations and stays locked in. Speaking to Fight Hype, Ford later urged people not to read too much into the situation. However, with all the changes in Davis' camp and the ongoing drama, it's evident that tensions have been building for some time. "I want to apologize to the fans for it," said Ford, addressing the delay that had dampened the excitement building for over 90 minutes since the scheduled arrival. He can't make it at this moment because he's been delayed, but he's going to make it up to y'all on fight night. Trust what I'm saying, y'all want to see the performance he's going to put on. Ford then spoke to the crowd. "How long y'all been knowing Tank?" "Man, I used to do the same thing y'all do, but I stopped doing it. Let him just do what he does, because at the end of the day, that's what makes Tank." He continued, "I don't know how his body is. You know, sometimes y'all gotta go to work. Do y'all feel like it all the time? We're getting ready to roll out to the world." When asked if Davis would attend the press conference, Ford remained optimistic.
Oh, watch them in camp. It scares me. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that he's doing and his maturity of
Tank Davis has always been present at press conferences, showcasing his commitment to fight promotion. Ford highlighted this dedication and pointed to the impressive stats behind Davis' career. He also issued a warning to Frank Martin on behalf of the absent fighter, declaring, "We're back in business, and we've been waiting for this moment." Speaking about Davis' return after a 14-month absence, Ford emphasized their goal to deliver an outstanding performance for the fans, saying, "We want to give a great performance, and at the end of the day, it's all for the fans."
Let's look at history. Let's look at the stats. So, you know, again, how many times y'all came here, y'all, he did.
Tank Davis has been making waves in boxing, with not only Calvin Ford but also Floyd Mayweather and Devin Haney recognizing his impact. His presence in the sport is undeniable, shaping the future of the game. Stay tuned for the latest updates on boxing news and unforgettable moments.